Yo, hello there, and welcome back my fellow pixelators, and today we're going to be continuing Zoro Wano arc, and today we're going to be in part 18, and today we're going to be filling in the rest of the outline for the body. So once again, we are going to be using the same blocks. We're going to be using our terracotta, our chisel sandstone, and our brown mushroom block, which we didn't use in the previous part, but that's fine because we still need this block. Now, with all that being said, we're going to be actually starting off with the brown mushroom block first this time. So for that area that we are going to be going off, we're going to be flying all the way over to the left hand side to the left fist. So this fist right here that's holding the sword, that goes all the way to the top, the thin one. Well, basically on the left. And for that area that we are going to be shading in with our brown mushroom, we're going to be flying over to the thumb sticking underneath right here. So let's fly over towards here. So once you've flown over to this thumb, taking out our brown mushroom, for the area that we're going to go off the thumb, we're just going to go all the way to the right of this thumb, to this one upright diagonal that you can see from this thumb area. So as you can see, we've got this one going up here, and then we've got this one in the corner, and then we've got this one to the right. So that kind of shape right there. Just going to fly all the way to this upright diagonal right here. Once you've flown to this upright diagonal, we're just going to do 3 up left diagonals with our brown mushroom block. So 1, 2, and 3. And there we go, we're done with that area right there. So all we got to do is we can take out our terracotta, and on the right hand side of this brown mushroom block, we're just going to fill it in with terracotta. So again, we're just going to mark out the area just like usual, and then there we go, that's all we got to do. But one thing before we move out of this area, inside the thumb, so inside the nail part, that's all going to be terracotta. So we're just going to fill this in with terracotta quickly. And you might as well fill all of this in because why not? And there you go. So as you can see, brown mushroom block all inside that little part, and terracotta's already filled in there, and terracotta's going to go all up in this right part. Once we have done this, we're then going to move on to the fist area and shade the fist. So we're going to be moving back on to our terracotta as per usual. So once you've flown over to this fist area, we're going to be starting from the right, from the top right fist, and then we'll be going all the way down to the left. So start from the right for the area that we're going to be flying off first. We're just going to be flying all the way to the top of this line right here. So we're going to be flying up to the top of this too. And with our terracotta, we're going to place one to the right from the very top one, just like so. Once you've done this, we're then going to do 3 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. From the third bottom right diagonal, we'll place one to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place another one to the right. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. Then from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to do 2 right diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second upright diagonal, we're going to place one to the right. And then finally but not least, do an upright diagonal from here. And there we go. That upright diagonal should have connected underneath that 2 right there, and to the right of that upright diagonal. Once you've then done this, we're going to take out our chisel sandstone. And again, we're just going to mark on top with our chisel sandstone. So underneath in this area is going to be filled in with a terracotta. So we'll just mark this out quickly. And there we go. As you can see, chisel sandstone is going to go above here and up in these other areas that we're about to mark out. And terracotta is going to go all underneath here. So then once we move this, we're going to move on to the next finger. So moving on to the left to this finger right here. Once again, we're going to be starting all the way to the left on this line right here. So all of these up left diagonals right here, we're going to fly to the very top one. And with our terracotta, we're going to place one on top, just like so. Once you place one on top, the very end one, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place one to the right. We're then going to do 4 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. From this 4th bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place one to the right. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place one to the right. And then once you place this one to the right, we're then going to fly into the right by 2. So 1 and 2. So on top of this black concrete right here, the second one right in the corner, we're going to place one terracotta going in this corner above it, just like so. So you should be looking like that right there. Once you've done that, we're then going to fly into the right by 1. So to this black concrete, that's to the right of the terracotta. And we're then going to do 2 upright diagonals with our terracotta from here. So 1 and 2. And there we go, we should be looking like that right there in that area. Once you've then done that, taking out our chisel sandstone again. Once again on top of the terracotta, we're just going to mark up our chisel sandstone. So just place on top, just like so. We'll just get the other side done as well. And then there we go, we're done right there. So once again, chiseled sandstone is going to go all above in that area, and terracotta is going to go all underneath. Once you've then done this, moving on to the next area, so flying over to the next finger. So once again, we're going to be flying over to this line right here, and we're going to be flying not to the very top one this time, we're going to be flying to the second one going away from the top. So basically, the third up left diagonal that you can see from these four, we're going to be flying to the third one right there. Once you've flown into the third one, taking out our terracotta once again, we're going to place one terracotta going to the right from that third up left diagonal of the black concrete. So we should be looking like that right there. Once you've done this, we're then going to do two bottom right diagonals from this terracotta. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom right diagonal, we're going to place one to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do four bottom right diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We should replace that, and there we go. As you can see, we should be looking like that right there. And from this fourth bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place one to the right. From this one that we place to the right, do an upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, place one to the right. Then from this one that we place to the right, we're then going to do three upright diagonals. So 1, 2, and then 3. And then there we go. From that third upright diagonal, we're then going to place 3 on top of here. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do 5 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just like so. And there we go. We should be looking like that right there. So once again, with our chiseled sandstone, we're just going to fill on top of this. So underneath those 5 bottom left diagonals there, but it's going to go all on top on this outside up here. So once again, just going to mark it out. And might as well get the extra done. Also want to make sure you get that one on the side right there as well. And there we go, we should be looking like that right there. So once again, terracotta is going to go underneath in this section, and chiseled sandstone is going to go all on the outside. Once you've done this, we're then going to move on to the next finger. So we're going to fly all the way to the left, to this 2 right here. So as you can see, these 2 up left diagonals from that 3 in total right there, we're going to be flying to that area right there with our terracotta. And once we've flown over to here, once again with our terracotta, we're going to place one going to the right from the very top one, just like so. Once you've done this, we're then going to do 7 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. From the 7th bottom right diagonal, we're going to place one to the right, and then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to do an upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, we're then going to place one to the right. Once you've done this, we're then going to do 3 upright diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Then from this third upright diagonal, we're then going to do 3 up left diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. Then from this third up left diagonal, place 1 on top, and then finally do another up left diagonal from here, and then there we go. We're done with that area right there. So once again, chiseled sandstone is going to go all on top, and mark all above. And then terracotta is going to go all underneath again. So taking out our chiseled sandstone, we're just going to fly in, mark out this area. And there we go, it should be looking like this so far. So as you can see, terracotta is going to go all underneath all 4 of these fingers right here. And chiseled sandstone is going to be filled in all on the outside. Obviously, as it goes outside, we've got a lot more areas to shade in. But before we move on to the next sections over here, as you can see underneath the fist, we do have another piece of the hand underneath the fist, which you can see right underneath right here. So this section right here is going to be filled in all with terracotta. So for sections like these, we usually just take out our terracotta, and we either just fill in 1 or 2 lines at the bottom, just like so. Doesn't have to be at the bottom, but that's just where I start from, so it's a bit easier. And there you go. So as you can see, all terracotta is going to go inside here, and then all up those 3 upright diagonals there as well. So if you want to pause the video and fill all that in now, you can do that little section. Again, it would be easier just to wait to the end, because we're going to move on to the next section right now. But if you do want to pause the video and do that, you can do that. But moving on to the next section, we're going to be flying all the way back to where we just did our last line with our terracotta right here. So basically where we started from the last finger right here, we're going to be flying to that black concrete again, right again. So once we're flying back to this black concrete right here, we're going to place 5 terracotta going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then there we go. We're done with that little part right there. So we're going to take out our chisel sandstone, and on the left, we're just going to fill with our chisel sandstone. And there we go, we're doing that part. So you can actually just fill in this gap right here. So fill in that free gap with terracotta, and then there you go, we're literally done with that section. So once you've done this, we're then going to move on to the next section. So we're going to fly all the way to the left, and we're going to do this little bottom shading area over here. So for the area that we're going to be starting over here, we're going to be flying all the way down to the left. As you can see, these 4 up left diagonals. We're going to be flying to that very 4th up left diagonal right there. So fly all the way to the top 4th up left diagonal. Once you've flown to the very top 4th up left diagonal, we're going to start by placing 1 terracotta on the very 4th one, just like so. So to the right of that 2 at the bottom right there as well, as you can see. Once you've then done that, fly back to that terracotta. Once you're flying back to this terracotta, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here, just like so. And then from this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 10 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once you place 10 going to the right, we're going to do another upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2, just like so. We're then going to do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. And from the second upright diagonal, we're then going to place 5 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like so. Once you place 5 to the right, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 3 going to the right. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do an upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2, just like so. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. We're then going to do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal. And this time we're going to place 1 to the right. We're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And then from this upright diagonal, we're then going to do an up left diagonal. Just like so. And then from this up left diagonal, we're then going to place 7 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, just like so. Once you place 7 to the left, we're then going to place 1 on top from here. Now from this one that we place on top, we're going to place 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2. Once you place this 2 going to the left, as you can see, it connects to the black concrete, just like so. We're then going to fly all the way back to the right, so back to this 1 terracotta that we placed on top. Once we've flown back to here, we're then going to place 3 going to the right. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you place 3 to the right, we're going to do an upright diagonal. Then from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you place 4 to the right, we're then going to do another upright diagonal. Then from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 3 to the right this time. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal. Then from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 3 to the right. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal. And then from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. We're then going to repeat this 3 here 2 more times in the upright and diagonal direction. So do an upright diagonal and place 2 to the right. 1 and 2. That's 1. Do another upright diagonal, place another to the right. And that's 2. And there you go. That should be 3 of those 3s in total right there. Going in an upright diagonal direction. So 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, we've got 3 of them. So fly back towards the end one. Once you fly back towards the end one, do another upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, place 1 to the right. Then do another upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. Now we're going to do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. And then finally but not least, do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, place 1 to the right. And as you can see, that one that we placed to the right should have connected to this 2 black concrete right here. So to this 2 black concrete that's sticking out inside that little gap there, as you can see. So once we have done this, we're then going to zoom out. So once again, we're going to take out our chisel sandstone, and we're going to mark out all on top above this area with our chisel sandstone, and we're also going to mark inside there with it as well. And terracotta's going to go all underneath inside this section going up there as well. So taking out chisel sandstone, we're just going to mark it all out. And we're just going to start from the left, because why not? So you want to make sure we fill inside this little gap here inside here as well. Now we got to get above it as well now. And there we go, we should be looking like that right there. So as you can see, chisel sandstone is going to go all above, and terracotta is going to go all underneath in that area. So for the next area for our terracotta, we're going to fly to the next black concrete line in this area going up right here. So this line right here. And for the area that we're going to be going off with our terracotta, we're going to be flying all the way to the right to those 4 upright diagonals. And we're going to be flying to the top upright diagonal. So all the way to the 4th one. Once you've flown to the 4th upright diagonal, we're going to start off by placing 3 terracotta going to the left from it. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you place 3 to the left, we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 3 to the left. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And this time we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. We're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 4 to the left this time. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like so. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place another 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place another 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. Once you've done this, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. Just like so. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 4 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then finally, but not least, do another bottom left diagonal and place 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2. And as you can see, we should have a 1 gap of air right there. And to take it out of chisel sandstone, we're just going to place 1 to the left and 3 terracotta in total right there. And there you go. Once you've done this, as you can see, chisel sandstone is just going to go all above the terracotta. So let's mark it out. And once again, terracotta is going to go also inside here, and as you can see, chisel sandstone is going to be all above it, as we are marking it out. So there you go, as you can see, terracotta inside and chisel sandstone all above in these areas. So for the next areas that we're going to be shading, we're going to be flying above this left hand right here. And as you can see, we've got 2 lines going here. So we've got this one line going up from the hand, and we also got this other line here. I'm going to start with the very left one first, so this one right here. And we're going to take out our terracotta, and we're going to fly all the way to the top. So all the way up to all these upright diagonals going up here. I'm going to fly to the very top one. Once you've flown to the very top one, I'm going to start off by placing 2 terracotta going underneath from the top one. So 1 and 2, and just like so. Once you place 2 terracotta going underneath from here, we're then going to do a bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place another 1 underneath. Once you've done this, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And this time we're going to place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And this time we're going to place 8 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to do 3 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. As you can see, that 3rd bottom right diagonal should have connected to the ground just like so. But we're not quite done yet. Once you've done this, we then want to fly underneath by 1. So to this black concrete right here. And then we want to fly to the right by 2. So 1 and 2. So to the very end of this black concrete line where our terracotta has connected on top of. And once we've flown to the very right end, we're going to start off by placing 3 terracotta going to the right from here. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you place this 3 to the right, do an upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do 4 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from this 4th upright diagonal, place 1 on top. And then finally but not least, do another upright diagonal. and then there we go. So as you can see in this area right now, chisel sandstone is going to go all above it, and it's going to go all inside these areas here, and terracotta is going to go underneath in that bottom right corner, and on the left hand side going in the left corner as well, just like so. So once again, taking out our chisel sandstone, we're just going to mark out the areas just on top again. There we go, and just get the left side as well done. Now we're going to zoom out. So once you have done that right there, so as you can see, chisel sandstone all inside there, terracotta on the left hand side and on the bottom right hand side. We're going to be moving on to the next line, so this line right here, and once again taking our terracotta, we're going to fly all the way to the top of all those upright diagonals going up here, and we're going to be going off the very top one. Once you've flown to the very top one, we'll start off by placing 2 terracotta going underneath from the end 1. So 1 and 2, just like so. We're then going to do 3 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And from this 3rd bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, and just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place another 1 underneath. And then from this one that we place underneath, do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like so. Once you place this 3 underneath, do another bottom left diagonal, and from this bottom left diagonal place another 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here, and from this bottom right diagonal we're then going to place 9 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And as you can see, that 9th one that we placed to the right should have connected to this 4 black concrete right here. So to the right of this 4 black concrete. Once you've done this, we're then going to zoom out. So once again, taking out our chisel sandstone, we're just going to mark on the above it of the terracotta, just like so. So we're just going to mark this all out. And then there we go. So once again, as you can see, terracotta is going to go all underneath in that bottom left corner and going up there as well. And chisel sandstone is going to be all on the rest. So once again, we are not quite done yet. So we're going to be moving over to the next shaded area. So all these lines right here, for the lines that we're going to be starting off right here, we're actually going to be going all the way down to the bottom. And as you can see, there's a 2 going up right here. So we've got these 2 at right diagonals, then a 2, and then another 2 at right diagonals. We're going to be flying to this 2 right here. So right next to the area that we just went from, we're going to be just flying to the right though, to this line right here on the fist. And we're going to be flying to the very top of that 2 going up right there. So fly all the way to here. Once you've flown all the way to here, you can take out our terracotta. And with our terracotta, we're literally just going to go all the way up from here until we hit the black concrete. And there you go. As you can see, we should hit that black concrete line that's floating down right here. Once you hit that line, we're then going to fly all the way up that line you just hit, so to the top of this line right here. Once you're at the top of this line, we're going to start off by placing 2 terracotta going up from here. So 1 and 2. And the second one that we placed on top, we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you've done the second bottom right diagonal, we're then going to fly in a bottom right diagonal direction by 1, so to this black concrete right here. So not the very bottom one, just 1 away from the bottom of this black concrete line. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here with our terracotta. So I can see that bottom right diagonal that we did is to the right of the very bottom of this black concrete line, floating right there. We're then going to fly back to that bottom right diagonal that we just did. We're then going to place a 1 underneath here, and then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to fly into the right by 1, so to the black concrete line, right next to the right of it, and then we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. So we should be looking like that right there. Once you've done this, fly back to that upright diagonal, and we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right, just like so, and then we're going to do an upright diagonal, and from this upright diagonal, place 1 to the right. We're then going to do another upright diagonal, and we're going to place another 1 to the right, and then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and we're going to place another 1 to the right, just like so. From this one that we just placed to the right, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here, just like so. Then from this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to do 3 bottom left diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. From this third bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, and then we're going to do 2 bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. So we should be looking like that so far. And then once you've done this, we're then going to zoom out from this area. So we're pretty much mostly done. We just got to do this section right here, but as you can see, it's capped off with the black concrete. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly all the way to the top to this 2 that's sticking out to the right here. So flying in towards here. And we're not going to go off the very end of one of the 2. We're going to go to the left, so they're basically all the upright diagonals, the very first one of the 2 right here. Once you've flown to this one right here, we're then going to place 1 terracotta underneath. So we should be looking like that right there. And fly back into that terracotta. We're then going to do 6 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And from the 6th bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do 2 bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2. On the second bottom left diagonal, do a bottom right diagonal. And then there we go, we're done with that little part right there. So we're going to zoom out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our chisel sandstone, and on the left hand side of this 1 terracotta line right here, we're just going to fill our chisel sandstone all the way on the left. So we do this line first. And there we go, should be looking like that right there. So basically, the short story is, chisel sandstone is going to go all on top of this terracotta right here, then kind of down that left side and also down that left side there. And terracotta is going to go all inside here and in that bottom left corner right there. So taking our chisel sandstone, once again we're going to mark out the area just on top of the terracotta. Here we go. Just got to go down this bottom left corner side here. And there we go. And then moving on to this side here as well. Now we're going to zoom out. So as you can see, terracotta is going to be inside that small area, and it's all going to go inside here and then up there and up right angle direction until you hit that point there where it's capped off, and then it's also going to go all up there and again in that upright diagonal direction until it's capped off right there in that one little single upright diagonal space. So once we have done all of this, we're then going to zoom out and fly to the next area on the left hand side over here. So for the next area that we're going to be going off, we're going to be flying all the way to the left, still underneath this sword right here. And we're going to be flying to this one gap right here in the shoulder, as you can see. And for the area that we are going to be going off, we're going to be flying all the way down to the bottom left corner. But not the very bottom left corner. We're going to be flying in an upright diagonal direction to the first 2. So I can see all these 2s going up here. We're going to be going off the first one right here on its own. So fly all the way towards here. And for the starting area with our terracotta from this 2, we're going to start from the very right corner inside this corner here. So we're basically going to place 1 to the left of the second 2, just like so. So we should be looking like that right there. And then fly back into that 1 terracotta that we just placed to the left in that corner. Then once we've flown back to here, we're then going to do 6 upright diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there we go. And there we go, we should be looking like that right there. So taking our chisel sandstone, on the left hand side of those 7 right diagonals in total, as you can see, we're just going to mark out the chisel sandstone. So on the right hand side right here is going to be terracotta. So again, we're going to mark out the chisel sandstone. And there we go. So again, terracotta on the right and chisel sandstone on the left. Once we've done this, we're then going to move on to the finalish sectors, and we're going to be flying up above the sword, and we're going to be flying to this area right here. So kind of continuing from this black concrete line, as you can see, that's capped off by the sword, we're going to be continuing basically from here. And for the area that we're going to be going off here, we're going to be flying all the way to the top, but not the very top right line, going to the right here, this big line. We're going to be flying to this 4 right here, and we're going to fly to the very left of the 4. Once you've flown to the very left of the 4, taking out our terracotta, once again, we're then going to place 6 terracotta going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you place 6 terracotta going to the left, do a bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, place 1 to the left, just like so. And then we're going to do 4 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. From this 4th bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the left, just like so. And then we're going to do 5 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there you go. As you can see, that 5th bottom left diagonal should have connected to the ground right there. And then once you've done this, we're going to take out our chisel sandstone, and once again on the left hand side we're just going to mark out with our chisel sandstone, and on the right it's going to be filled in with our terracotta. So again, marking out our chisel sandstone first. And there we go. So that's all marked out right there. So chisel sandstone all on the left, terracotta in the right. Once you've done this, and I'm going to move on to the next sector that we only need to mark out. We do have a couple more sectors, but we don't need to mark out the next sectors, because basically they're all in one area that's just boxed off, so we don't need to shade anything there. So we are moving to this line, as you can see that I'm hovering over right here. Once again, we're going to start from the top, so from the very 4th upright diagonal, taking out our terracotta, flying to the top. We're going to place 2 terracotta going underneath from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. We're then going to do a bottom left diagonal, and from this bottom left diagonal we're going to place a 1 underneath, just like so. From this one that we placed underneath, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal, and from this bottom left diagonal we're going to place another 1 underneath. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here, and this time though we're going to place 2 going to the left, so 1 and 2, and just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal, and from this bottom left diagonal, place another 2 to the left, 1 and 2. And as you can see, that second one that we placed to the left should have connected underneath this 3rd bottom left diagonal on the black concrete, just like so. And then once we've done this, we're going to take out our chisel sandstone. So chisel sandstone is going to go all underneath, and terracotta is going to go all up in the left side in this gap here. So marking out our chisel sandstone area once again. There we go. Struggling to mark it there. Alright, got it. And there we go. So chisel sandstone is going to go all down onto here, and terracotta is going to go inside here. So that is the final area that needs to be explained for in terms of actually marking it out. But we do have a couple more areas that I just need to talk about. So first of all, that one bottom right diagonal right there, that is air, by the way, if anyone is just wondering, because it goes down into there. So just make sure that is air. And then for the areas that we're going to be shading in as well, we're going to move over to the bottom of the sword. So we're going to back to basically where the collarbone comes down. So basically the top of where the very chest pec area is. And underneath the sword, we're going to be filling in this little gap right here, all with terracotta. And this gap right here underneath as well. And then also the gap above the sword, right here above the handle. Also between the sword blade or the other one, that's all going to be filled in terracotta there. And also, if anyone's wondering what that area is right there, that is part of the chin, and the face, so make sure you don't touch that area. So again, I'm just going to mark out terracotta in a couple of these areas. So there's one area marked out. We'll just do one line once again. Which is a big line we just marked out there. And there we go. I want to make sure we don't go into there, because that, again, that is part of the face. And then this area right here above the sword, and in between the other blade of the sword, just going to mark this out as well. And there we go. So as you can see, terracotta inside there, all inside there, and all inside there. So terracotta's going all inside those areas. And then for the final explaining, well, just to recap you all over the areas that we're going to be doing today. Inside that fun part is going to be brown mushroom block going all inside there. Up there is terracotta. Terracotta down on that finger, down on that part of the finger, down on that part of the finger, and down on that part. And underneath here is terracotta. Then chisel sandstone is going all up above and outside into here. And then once you're moving into here, terracotta all underneath here, all to the right there, which we've already filled in, as you can see. Terracotta all underneath that little gap there as well. And then chisel sandstone all above, inside that little small gaps in there. And then going all the way up here as well. And then as you can see, moving up to here, terracotta is going to go all underneath here. and then in that bottom right corner, and then in that bottom left corner. And then as you can see, Chisel Sandstone is going all above up to this area, to that black concrete lines there. And then we move over to the right, terracotta all inside these little gaps here, and that bottom left diagonal corners there. And then Chisel Sandstone is going all above, all the way down there to the edge of the sword. And then terracotta all in the neck there, and there. And then we're going all the way to the left and the shoulder. Terracotta in the right, Chisel Sandstone in the left. And then again, moving to the next line. Terracotta to the right, Chisel Sandstone to the left, all above, all in the rest of the area, and terracotta going above as well there. And then again, this final part is all terracotta inside there. So there we go, that is everything explained right there. So now we just got to get into the filling in. So once again, you can pause the video right now if you want to fill it all in for yourself and see the end result for yourself. And then you can fill it all in now. So make sure to pause the video right now. Or if you want a reference, so basically to make sure you don't go wrong, and you want to copy my version to make sure you go correct, then you can pause the video right now. And there we go, as you can see we have filled in everything in. So as you can see, all the brown mushrooms been filled in underneath the thumb, all the terracotta has been filled above it, all the terracotta has been filled in underneath all those fingers, and then also underneath the fingers as well, that little part where terracotta has been filled in, and Chisel Sandstone has been filled all above the fist, all the way down the left. The terracotta's been filled in that area right there, down below, and then also above in that little line over to the left as well, that's all been filled in, and pretty much just all the areas have been filled in, which you can see from here. So if you haven't filled this in yet, make sure to go and pause the video and fill this in, or if you're going to wait to come back to it, then you can wait and come back to it. And I'm not going to lie, so far this build I think is turning absolutely amazing. It looks really good so far, and to be honest, I don't know why, but I think it looks really cool how the sword hasn't been filled in yet, just that nothing's been filled in there, and I think it just kind of looks cool, just being empty for some reason. Obviously, we're not going to leave that empty. With that note being said, in the next part, we will be doing the rest of the shoulder, so we'll be finally finishing off the Chisel Sandstone, terracotta, and brown mushroom on the right-hand side, filling in that last hand and shoulder side, and then after that, we will be doing all the swords. So we're probably going to be doing each sword separately as well. The swords are very big, and not to mention, well, there's a lot of detail. And we'll be doing the swords in order, which if you can't tell which order, the blade that is coming up from here is going to be the first one. And there's the first one going up, and then the second one's being shaded over, and the third one's shaded over. So that's how we're going to be doing all the swords, and then we'll be finally moving on to the face and hair and to the next final parts. But all that being said, that's the end of today's tutorial. So if you have enjoyed this build so far, feel free to go and hit that like button. And if you haven't done that already, go and make sure to go and hit that subscribe button as well, because that would be much appreciated. And without further ado, I'll see you in the next one. So peace out, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.